Alright, welcome to the Smeggies Cave. I'm trying to go live here watching hr1808, the assault weapons ban. I have it up on my TV here. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to do this, but I want to comment along as we'll be listening to these people lie. So I welcome anyone who's new, who came over from the other broadcast. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to try and turn my TV up really loud. Let me know if you can hear what they are saying, because I'm on my phone. I don't have a way to screen share and do all this stuff. Their time's expired, bitch. Shut up.
New York Reserve, gentleman from Ohio is recognized. This speaker, you have 2 minutes. The gentleman from Wisconsin, Mr. Fitzgerald. Gentleman from Wisconsin is recognized for 2 minutes. Speaker, I thank the ranking member. There is a motion to recommit that I would like to offer. Without the motion to recommit, you instruct us.
I think also possibly you guys maybe if you could pull up in a different window the C-SPAN feed, then maybe you'd be able to hear what's going on and then comment along in here. I don't know. If I get some other people joining in, maybe they could screen share it. I know G-Webs is pretty good at doing that. In fact, actually, I'm going to post the link out here.
Goes through 8 weeks of basic combat training, BCT, at one of the basic training centers in Fort Jackson or Fort Knox or Fort Benning. And then they're given a service weapon, an M16 typically, and taught to assemble, disassemble that weapon down to the bolt. They'll go through the training with the drill sergeant. They'll be on a range, on a live fire range with this service weapon. And then the 17-year-old will go to AIT to be taught their specialty.
Wait, can you guys actually even hear my TV? I'm not sure how good this microphone is.
And then potentially deployed. What this bill seeks to do is prevent this member of the military who comes home either to the Reserve or National Guard unit or on active duty from purchasing a rifle that they can use on their own. My colleagues who support the bill are saying, we trusted you to join the service. We encouraged you to join the service. But then when it comes down to it, we really don't. To ensure that the nation's active duty members and veterans will be trusted. Time has expired. 30 seconds. Gentleman is recognized for another 30 seconds. Mr. Speaker, it's so amazing to me that the majority rejected this in the Judiciary Committee. They talk a good game when it comes to veterans, but when it comes right down to it, they don't trust them. And I yield back. Gentleman yields back. Gentleman from Ohio.
Well, that's because the Democrats were talking out both sides of their mouth on the committee.
1 minute. Distinguished gentleman from Illinois, Mr. Schneider. Mr. Schneider. Sorry. Gentleman,
your name's funny.
Mr. Schneider is recognized for 1 minute. Speaker. Today arrives in emphatic support of H.R. 1808, the assault weapons ban of 2022. Over the past few weeks, survivors of horrific shooting in Highland Park, Illinois, came to D.C. determined to make change. They teamed up with veterans from Uvalde, Parkland, and Utah to demand an assault weapons ban to reduce the chance of other communities experiencing the trauma they all tragically bear. Today, thanks to those all support of their efforts, the American people will get that recorded vote. The world is watching.
Yeah, we are watching.
Experiences grotesque number of murders, deranged individuals turning weapons of war.
We're watching you turn on our Second Amendment rights.
People watching a parade. The vote we are taking today to show the families of those who are exactly who is on their side, who is protecting our children and putting people over politics, and conversely, who is on the other side looking for their own power. From Paris, Pennsylvania, working tirelessly to secure timely vote I urge passage of this bill. I yield the remainder of my time. Gentlemen, yields back.
People over politics. You guys are doing politics over people right now.
11 minutes. Gentleman from Ohio is recognized. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We yield 3 minutes to the gentleman from Georgia, Mr. Clyde. Mr. Clyde is recognized for 3 minutes. Thank you to the gentleman from Ohio. I rise in strong opposition to H.R. 1808, which is just the latest gun-grabbing bill Democrats are dangerously ramming through their unconstitutional crusade to disarm America.
Say, interesting how C-SPAN isn't showing his little poster, but they'll show the posters of the kids and whatnot. But now they just zoomed out to show it.
It does the exact opposite. It puts citizens at greater risk by taking away the rights of the law-abiding. This legislation takes aim at our Constitution by banning what the Democrats call assault weapons, which is a vague America, the AR-15, and what the industry calls modern sporting rifles. The Democrats have consistently called them weapons of war and are trying to ban them from being purchased by law-abiding citizens. But who does this bill exempt? The federal government.
Exactly.
Agencies like the Department of Health and Human Services, Department of Education, Department of Labor, Department of Housing.
They talked about that in the committee. They wanted to add an amendment saying that, like, the IRS and the not DOJ, Department of Education and all this other stuff. If these weapons are so dangerous and they're only used for assault, why does the Department of Education or the ATF or any of those other people need them?
The Department of Housing and Urban Development going to use them against the occupants in their housing developments. You cannot have it both ways. If it's a weapon of war,
yes. Yes, if it's a weapon of war, then the federal agencies should have weapons of war. Or it's not a weapon of war and we should all have them. Or it is a weapon of war and we should all have them.
Constitutional rights. Democrat ignorance and malice do not justify banning nearly 25 billion firearms that Americans, including myself, proudly own and responsibly use. Now, I know the author of this legislation would prefer that I spare him both the preparatory clause and the supremacy clause of the Second Amendment, but it is quite clear a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Shall not be infringed, period, is the supremacy clause. And banning an entire class of firearms, the most popular firearm in common use, clearly infringement. An armed America is a safe and free America. I urge all of my colleagues to stand firm in the fight to protect and preserve the Second Amendment by voting no on this unconstitutional and therefore illegal piece of legislation. Thank you.
Thank you. That was good. That was a pretty good one.
Speaker, I ask unanimous consent to assert into the record a letter of endorsement of the assault weapons ban from the Major Cities Chiefs Association, a professional organization of law enforcement.
Screw you.
Representing the largest cities in the United States. Without objection. And I ask unanimous consent to insert into the record a report from the Violence Policy Center entitled Target Law Enforcement Assault Weapons in the News. Without objection. And now yield 1 minute to the distinguished gentleman from New York, Mr. Higgins. Mr. Higgins is recognized for 1 minute. Mr. Speaker, no technology advances more quickly in our society than the technology of killing.
What?
Mass destruction are being made and manipulated to kill more people.
I think iPhones advance a little faster than firearm technology, you freaking idiot.
One shooter, a racist shooter, went into a supermarket on Jefferson Avenue and shot 13 people, killing 10 of them. The shooting started and was completed in 2 minutes and 3 seconds. One shooter. I often heard it said that the best way to stop a bad...
Oh, now DJ's telling me to turn the TV up? I thought you guys said you could hear it. Oh. Fucking ridiculous.
But he was helpless because he was outgunned by the bad guy with the gun who had an assault rifle. I thank Mr. Cicilline for his leadership on this issue, for his thoughtful approach to this, and urge my colleagues to support this legislation. Gentlemen's time has expired. Gentlemen from New York, Reserves gentleman from Ohio is recognized. Mr. Speaker, we reserve. Gentlemen reserves, gentleman from New York is recognized. Mr. Speaker, I now yield 1 minute.
Is that better, DJ?
The distinguished young lady from California, Ms. Chu. Ms. Chu is recognized for 1 minute.
Oh, more pictures.
We are the only country in the world where mass shootings continuously happen. They happen in schools, grocery stores, malls, hospitals, parties, you name it. In America, there has not been a single week in 2022 without a mass shooting.
Bullshit.
Especially have no place in our streets or schools or our grocery stores. They have no place in nail salons or churches or shopping malls. About their horrific impact on children like this, a trauma surgeon said, the tissue destruction is almost unimaginable. Bones are exploded. Soft tissue is absolutely destroyed. It's like a bomb went off. But we in Congress can end this. We can end this uniquely American plague of mass death caused by gun violence. I support the assault weapons ban because we cannot wait to act until the next mass shooting. We must pass this.
You're right. You can't wait to pass this bill for anything.
New York reserves, gentleman from Ohio is recognized. We reserve, Mr. Speaker. Gentleman continues to reserve. Gentleman from New York is recognized. Mr. Speaker, I have 1 minute to distinguished gentleman from Texas, Mr. Green. Mr. Green is recognized for 1 minute. And still I rise, Mr. Speaker. I rise to announce that I will vote for this legislation.
Cool story, bro. Nobody cares.
So because I know that there are 19 babies who were murdered in Robb Elementary School in Texas who will never have the right to vote. I rise to vote for it because there are 2 teachers who were murdered who will never have the opportunity to seek the future that was there. I rise because we have a governor in the state of Texas who could have saved all of those lives if he had but only, after the shooting at Walmart that took 23 lives, passed legislation such as we're passing today.
That doesn't even make any sense, because even under your own logic, this bill grandfathers the stuff in. So if you would have passed the exact same legislation after the Walmart thing, the dude who did it at the school would have still had his because they already bought it. They're not even consistent with your own bullshit.
Gentleman continues to reserve. Gentleman from New York. Mr. Speaker, I now yield 1 minute to distinguished gentleman from Nevada, Smeggies. Gentleman from Nevada is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you very much. I've heard a lot of talk today about the Constitution. Well, when the founding fathers wrote the Second Amendment, these kind of weapons didn't even exist. They had muskets.
Well, golly, they only had muskets. I mean, the First Amendment doesn't count to the internet. They only had a quill and paper.
Did not know or anticipate these weapons.
I'm sorry to make fun of the way she talks. It's just, I'm just angry.
Many innocent people as brutally and quickly as possible. And that's exactly what they did in my district.
I'm going to go buy a cannon. Because you know you can own a cannon. I'm going to go buy a cannon. That was around the Second Amendment, and it was designed to be able to own a cannon.
Stand up to the NRA and support this legislation. It's common sense. It's necessary. And it will prevent mass shootings and save lives. I thank you and I yield back.
Lady yields back. Gentleman from Missouri. Gentleman from New York reserves. The gentleman from Ohio reserves.
And then this guy and that guy.
Recognized.
Someone fucking talk.
Now you have 1 minute to the chairman of the appropriations committee, the distinguished gentleman from Connecticut, Mr. Laura. Mr. Laura is recognized for 1 minute.
I mean, is it weird there's only like 7 people there?
Massacred at Sandy Hook Elementary School.
Oh.
Buffalo, Uvalde. The common denominator, an AR-15 style assault weapon.
That lady is bright.
8% deadliest mass.
Interesting color choices.
We cannot be known.
Dude, those rings are assault rings. Look at those clubs she's got on.
The tragedy at Sandy Hook changed our lives forever. These are unspeakable.
Why do you need rings that big?
That are happening in
This lady's got brass knuckles.
grocery stores, our places of worship. The legislation before us today will reduce the prevalence of the call.
And I'm only getting to these odd hominem attacks because I'm just joking around. Like, she's just blabbling on about the stuff that they've all said before. Oh, kids got shot. I'm sad. Well, yeah, it sucks, dude. We all agree. No one disagrees with that. But this legislation isn't going to stop any of that. So,
Gentlemen from New York reserves, gentlemen from Ohio is recognized. I think, Mr. Speaker, we yield 5 minutes to the chair of the Second Amendment caucus, the gentleman from Kentucky, Mr. Madison. Mr. Madison is right.
oh, this guy normally speaks pretty good.
Thank you, Mr.
Oh, he's got a big old chart, too.
To the gentleman from Ohio. If facts are the
I want to
ammunition
zoom
of the
in.
day, I'd like to point out that the other side of the aisle entered this room unarmed. There's so many mischaracterizations or misfires, if you will, about this bill and what this bill does that I don't know where to start. But let me start here with the words of the author of this bill. He says it will ban weapons of war only suitable for soldiers in combat. Is that what it does? Does it ban an M16? It doesn't ban an M16 or an M4. It bans the most commonly sold rifle in the United States today and for the last several years.
24 million.
It doesn't ban weapons of war. It explicitly exempts the M1 Garand. General Patton said the M1 Garand is the finest implement of battle ever devised.
Here's
Why is it exempted? It's a weapon of war. It
1994.
exempts the M1 carbine.
275,000.
Look at the picture of the soldiers, the Marines at Iwo Jima. What were they carrying? M1 carbine.
During the ban, it went up
It
from
exempts the quintessential Cold War weapon, the pride of the Chinese and the communists, the SKS. It's exempted in this bill. These are literal weapons of war that are not in this bill. Now let's come back and ban those. But they don't want to ban them right now because they don't look scary enough. They have a wooden door.
Good point. They will come back to ban those.
Plastic. They don't look like the scary stuff on the news, so they have no interest in banning that. Literal, actual weapons of war are not banned, but the most common firearm sold today is banned. But let's take them at their word. Weapons of war, these are weapons of war. We got to ban weapons of war. Well, they exempt 80-some federal agencies from the ban.
Yep.
Literally every bureaucratic agency in the government can have a weapon of war under this bill. Weapons of war is they call it. So we offered an amendment in the committee. We couldn't conceive of why the Department of Education would need a weapon of war to complete their mission of educating our children.
Yes. That part of the committee was great going back and forth.
Conceive of why the USDA would need weapons of
The Democrats literally said, these are scary weapons of war. They say, okay, well then the USDA and education shouldn't have them. Well, no, they need them to protect themselves for defense. Okay, so these are defensive guns. No, they're weapons of war. No, but we need them for defense. But they're weapons of war. It was great.
Why these agencies would need weapons of war? Whom they plan to go to war? When they bring them to the school board, where are they going to bring these things? Now they couldn't give a good reason why these agencies would need weapons of war, but they all voted to allow these agencies to have weapons of war. Now the reason they did, we came to that conclusion, is they aren't weapons of war. It's the most common firearm sold in the United States today. These are not weapons of war.
Puppy stare down.
Who did articulate a reason, said, well, they're actually good for defense.
Right.
You might need them to defend the Department
Yes,
of
listen to TV. Look at puppies.
That's what the Second Amendment is about. It's not about making sure that the Department of Education, which by the way is unconstitutional, but it's not making sure that the Department of Education can have proper defense. It's for the people to have proper defense. So that's the first falsehood.
Yes.
There's another reason that gun owners should be concerned about this bill. Maybe you don't own one of these firearms, but if you own guns, you know about terminal ballistics. You know what are suitable calibers for hunting deer, for hunting coyotes. We've heard it said here today and in the committee, and they showed us a video. Oh, the terminal ballistics of a .223 round are so dangerous that we need to ban these AR-15s because they shoot .223 rounds. What they didn't show you was a video of a deer cartridge, like a 30-06 or a 7mm or a 308. If you are banning, if the purpose of this legislation is to ban these firearms because they shoot a cartridge with those terminal ballistics of a 223, then you absolutely plan to come after deer rifles.
Yeah, wake up,
Because we
Fuds.
have
Wake up.
3 times as much power. 2 and 3
They're going to
times
call them
as much
high-powered
destruction
rifles.
and
They'll
killing
probably call them
as
sniper
a
rifles.
firearm as a
High-powered sniper rifles.
that you seek to ban here today.
30-06.
Another falsehood. This bill will save lives. Let me get to this. And we heard it here today. I was waiting for it. It was mentioned a couple times. Even the Speaker of the House mentioned it. They've said that the 94 to 2004 assault weapons ban, so-called assault weapons, reduced crime. The crime went down.
Oh, I like this guy.
From 95 to 2004,
Yeah,
there
look
were
at the numbers.
2 million of these firearms imported or manufactured and sold. Gentleman's time has expired.
Give the gentleman just for 30 seconds.
Gentleman's recognized for another 30 seconds.
94-04.
The number of these rifles doubled in the United States during your last
94.
assault weapons ban. If you think crime
04.
went down because of the last assault weapons ban, then you've got some explaining to do, because the number of those rifles increased. Maybe, just maybe, people became safer. I urge opposition to this bill, and I yield back the balance of my time.
High five, bud.
Yields back. Gentleman from Ohio is reserved. Gentleman from New York is recognized. Mr. Speaker, I now yield 1 minute to the senior gentleman from Virginia, Mr. Connolly. Mr. Connolly is
That dude was good.
recognized.
He made his points quick and succinct, and didn't go off on a tangent about all the other crap like earlier when the guys are talking about stuff that has nothing to do with Second Amendment. I hate when they do that. Even if they're on our side, I hate when they do that.
Protect where we shop. Protect when we watch a movie. Guns that exist for what purpose only?
The only thing Massey could have done better is when he said about how the crime went down during the ban, and oh look, we imported 2 million of the guns. He also should have mentioned it also went down between 04 and 2014. So like, why don't you look at that 10-year period? Because it kept going down.
At the altar of the gun manufacturers, and we will be bathed in blood forever.
If anyone wants to join me, the link's out here in the chat.
And the madness and disenthrall ourselves from automatic weapons that are mass.
I just act as we try not to talk too much over the people, but I talk over the Democrats more.
Mr. Jordan reserves, Mr. Nadler's recognized. Mr. Speaker, I now yield 1 minute to the distinguished majority leader of the House, the gentleman from Maryland, Mr. Hoyer. Mr. Hoyer is recognized for 1 minute.
Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Here I come.
Thank the gentleman for yielding.
That's all good, man. I'm just putting it out there for the people that want to jump in.
This is, of course, an emotional debate.
You make it an emotional debate.
Fear. And then instill fear in the process.
A hotel room? No. This is my house.
Pointed out, no weapons are taken away. A number of members on the other side of the aisle have
guy talks slow.
said this is an unconstitutional bill. Yeah. From 1994.
All right, I'm gonna go get something to drink real quick.
That bill was tested in the courts.
That guy's just blabbing. He's talking slow. I bet you I'll be back before he even says the next word.
Oh, no. You drink more Mountain Dew.
But I have a liter in the fridge, but I don't. Anyways, yeah, no, this is not a hotel room. This is my house. And it's not because of me. My girl tidies up a lot more than I do. Although she has made me tidy up more than I probably used to. Like, I'm not saying made, like, oh, I get yelled at her and that kind of stuff, but just me, because she keeps everything clean, it's easy for me to be like, well, you know, I think I'll put this thing up. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of the same thing with, like language and stuff. You know, if you're around people that don't swear ever, whatever, you tend to like swear as much. Okay. I'm going back. Let's see if this guy has finished the sentence yet.
That's correct, because they're banned. No, the common use. 67% of Americans support an assault weapon ban. 53%, over half, strongly support, and another 14% somewhat support, for a total of 67%.
Don't you drink my Mountain Dew?
Well, the morning consult on May 25th, 2010. There's another poll by Pew in September 21 that
Pew pew poll.
63% of Americans support. Those polls, over 60% of Americans, over 2/3 of Americans think this actually makes sense.
Well, then those people are stupid, but I don't believe those numbers.
I'm sure.
So if 99% of the people thinks it makes sense to jump off a bridge, it doesn't change the fact that it's not very smart to jump off a bridge.
Covered by the Second Amendment. They had no idea such weapons certainly didn't exist. And they acted within the framework of the times in which they lived.
Yeah, they had no idea that weapons like this would exist, but they also allowed muskets, which is the same thing the military was using.
From dangerous and deadly assault weapons.
So they were actually more equal, the regular citizen, to the military back when the Second Amendment was written. And there's a bigger gap between a regular citizen and a military personnel now.
If the premise that there are more people than are armed, the less crime will have. Seems a little counterintuitive to me.
I don't care if it seems counterintuitive, it's true.
That we're talking about.
It's not like we're the most violent country in the world. Go hang out in Mexico City for a while. Go hang out in Brazil. Go hang out in, I don't know, somewhere, other places. Like, there's tons more places that have way more crime than us and have less guns than us. So why don't we cherry pick those stats and say the more guns are more safe? If you compare us to other countries that have no guns and no crime or less crime, okay, fine. But that's the whole point. Every different country is different. But if guns cause crime, we are by far the most guns in the whole world. So we would have to be the most crime in the whole world, and we're not. There are plenty of places that have way more gun control laws and way more crime.
Support this bill because they see that as one of the greatest dangers to their lives. Indeed, one study by the Violence Policy Center found that nearly a quarter of all the police officers killed in the line of duty between 2016 and 2017 were killed by the same firearms.
Nearly a quarter, which means 3/4 were not. So what were the weapons used in 3/4 of the deaths? Oh wait, that's a loaded question because it's probably not even weapons, because if I'm not mistaken, the vast majority of police deaths are because of car accidents, you idiot!
We know there's a better way. We know that because these attacks became far less common.
Car accidents kill more cops than AR-15s.
Overwhelmingly,
whether they're on the side of the road and get hit by another car, or they crash their own car, or whatever.
We'll speak more to that in just a second.
How can you make a statistic that says 1/4 is done by assault weapons? Make it sound like assault weapons are the most evil. By definition, that means 3/4 were not assault weapons. Yeah, Ronald Reagan sucked. I don't even know. I missed that part because I was ranting. Like, I don't care about Ronald Reagan. He tried to ban craft.
Mass shootings triple. Today, I'm pleased to bring Mr. Cicilline's bill to the floor to reinstate America's assault. Reinstate reinstate a bill that has been taken to the court already. This legislation would prohibit the possession and manufacture, sale, and transfer of semi-automatic assault weapons.
How much time did this guy get yielded? 15 minutes? Come on, Grandpa.
To be clear, we are not undermining the Second Amendment.
Yes, you are.
I am for a person having the right to have a weapon, not only to hunt, but in his home, in his business, to protect himself and his family.
As long as it's not the one you don't like.
To carry it upon his person where authorized. This bill will not
Where authorized.
confiscation of firearms, notwithstanding the fear that has been expressed.
They say it's not that, oh, we're not going to confiscate any firearms. Well, you're confiscating firearms from future me because present me doesn't have enough money to own all the guns that I would like to own. And you're confiscating from future kids, from future people. It is confiscation. It's just not taking away what someone already has, but it's taking away their ability to have more or have a first one if they haven't bought one yet. My buddy just bought an AR-15 for the first time like a month ago. And he's been a gun dude forever. He just never happened to own one. Luckily, he did. If this passes, he wouldn't have been able to. That's taking a gun away from him if he didn't have it already. This is banning guns, and this is confiscating guns from future people.
Goes too far because the next step and the next step and the next step. These common sense reforms will save the lives of law enforcement officers and innocent Americans across the country. The speaker spoke. We're going to bring a additional community safety legislation to the floor to support our police, because as much as
an additional community safety thing, they're already saying this one isn't even passed yet. He's already saying they're going to go for more. The speaker already spoke about speaking. That they're going to bring another community safety bill after this one. They're literally are just saying it's not a slippery slope. But by the way, we're going to do something as soon as this one passes that makes it even go further down the slope. This guy is horrible at keeping his cards close to his chest. He's telling us everything they want to do.
Some people use that comment. Look in the mirror, folks.
Yeah, you're a mirror.
There's some people on your side of the aisle who say absurd things. Okay,
fine. There are people on both sides of the aisle who say absurd things. You can call both of them out. But you are being stupid right now. Exactly, Mad Sexy. And it's time to get. I thought they yielded in like 2 minutes.
Behind our words and show who is winning to do exactly that. Now, I hope my Republican friends and Democratic friends.
You don't have any friends.
Well, listen to the quote that I'm about.
Nobody likes you. Go home.
From a president that used to be revered on the Republican side of the aisle.
Oh, he's gonna.
But it's now not looked at as.
He's gonna quote Reagan. Yeah, I don't like Reagan. Whoop-de-doo.
Ronald Reagan said this: "Listen to the American public and to the law enforcement community, and support a ban on the further manufacture of these weapons."
Like, this is an appeal to authority. He's basically saying, well, Ronald Reagan said it, and he was Republican, so therefore all Republicans should like him. Ronald Reagan ain't no better than anybody else. I'm smarter than Ronald Reagan when it comes to gun issue, because I'm right and he's wrong.
And lamented the loss of children.
You can't just say some dude said this and you're supposed to like him, so therefore you have to agree with him. Hell, there are people that I have in chat with me, which if you guys want to join in, there's a link in the chat. Like, I've had people on and in my thing. I like them very, very much. And I disagree with them on stuff. So, calling to Ronald Reagan is like some sort of savior or whatever. You think the Republicans are going to go, oh shit, Reagan said that? He must be right? No, dude. It's such a bad argument.
Mr. Speaker, we haven't said the Second Amendment was unlimited. We quoted the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment, which the Supreme Court has said protects firearms in
common use.
24 million Americans have these weapons out of. That is most certainly common use. And the fact that the chair of the Judiciary Committee
Judiciary Committee says, I don't care, we're gonna do it even though we know it's unconstitutional. That is just wrong. Now I yield 1 minute to my friend, the gentleman from Texas. As for 1 minute. Too often, Mr. Speaker, we skip over the fundamental principle and precept and driver of the Second Amendment. So let's reaffirm our faith here. Our founders were determined to fight against their own government for our freedom and independence. They stated unequivocally that when there were a train of abuses and usurpations and the citizens were reduced to absolute despotism, it was our right and our duty to throw off that government. We wouldn't have these United States. We wouldn't be here today without this sacred Second Amendment. Every law-abiding citizen in America must be able to meet either with equal or greater force, whether it's a violent criminal, a crazed killer, or a coercive government. We should, Mr. Speaker, we must reject.
I gotta plug my phone in, so I turned the video off, but my Bluetooth should still be picking up the audio.
Of what those founders wrote into that sacred document and to disarm our citizens.
You guys let me know if you can still hear it.
Gentleman yells back, Chair will advise managers, Mr. Jordan has 1 minute, Mr. Nadler has 6 minutes. Gentleman from New York is recognized.
Like 7 minutes total left.
The previous speaker on the Republican side said that citizens must be able to meet the government with equal arm.
Yes, they should.
United States government has to bomb.
Oh, now this whole, you can't stop the government with AR-15s. Well, if we can't stop the government with AR-15s, I guess AR-15s aren't weapons of war, are they?
Mr. Langevin is recognized.
Idiot.
Mr. Speaker, I know the damage that guns can cause firsthand. When I was 16, an accidental gunshot severed my spinal cord and left me paralyzed. Yet the damage caused by that gun pales in comparison to the destruction caused by assault weapons, whose sole purpose is to inflict maximum damage on their targets. No one needs an assault weapon.
I'm not trying to be insensitive, but I wonder what was he shot with that made him paralyzed compared to what, like an AR-15 shoots.
An assault weapons with a firearm choice. The killers in Uvalde, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Parkland, Orlando, Sandy Hook, and the list goes on. So I ask my colleagues, does this body have the courage to stop the next massacre and take place? Or will we shirk from our responsibilities and our duty, but pretend to simply walk the closer prayers while Americans, even small children, are mowed down in our schools, grocery stores, and places of worship? I know which side I'm on, and I hope my colleagues will find me. I thank Congressman Cicilline for steadfast work on bringing this legislation to the floor. I yield back.
Gentleman's time has expired. Gentleman yields back. Gentleman from New York reserves. Gentleman from Ohio.
He's popping a wheelie.
Reserves. Gentleman from New York is recognized. The Speaker, any of the 1 minute to distinguished gentlelady from Illinois is present. Gentlelady from Illinois is recognized for 1 minute.
Strong support of the assault weapons ban. I live very close to Highland Park, Illinois, and I have heard from literally hundreds of people and met with hundreds of people, students, teachers, parents, and small business owners, and yes, even law enforcement officials who demand that we have and pass an assault weapons ban today. Today's vote would not be possible without the fearless and tireless work of advocates and survivors. This day is for them. And I think that there is no rational reason that we would allow these weapons of mass destruction to be on the streets of our country that ravages our families, and even our way of life.
I mean, you're trying to take our guns, at least learn how to speak, right?
Ban assault weapons.
Ms. Schakowsky yields back. Gentleman from New York reserves. Gentleman from Ohio reserves. Gentleman from New York is recognized. Mr. Speaker, I yield that 1 minute to distinguished gentlelady from Ohio is back. Ms. Captor is recognized for 1 minute.
Should only have like 3 or 4 minutes left from this guy.
Thank you,
Mr. Speaker, Americans want their freedom back. I'm saying in my colleague
Yeah, we do.
Ohio, Mr. Jordan, your freedom stops where mine begins, and that of my constituents begin. Schools, shopping malls, grocery stores, Independence Day parade shouldn't be scenes of mass carnage and bloodshed. Weapons of war have no place on the streets of America. An experienced Ohio sheriff says it well. Assault weapons and large capacity magazines should only be utilized by the military and law enforcement. A proposal to ban their use is common sense, supported by a majority of Americans.
Who do the police need to assault? I mean, I get military having assault weapons of war, but why should police have assault weapons of war? I thought police were bad and they want to kill everybody and they're evil. No, I'm no fan of police, to be quite fair, but like, police brutality, how come they're allowed to have assault weapons of war?
It's 100%. So let's take the two most important steps. Remove large capacity assault weapons from our streets and arrest the drug dealers who are creating death.
I mean, I'm cool with arresting the drug dealers. That's cool. Yeah, we'll do that because those are already against the law. I mean, I think marijuana probably should be legal, but like the other stuff, all that fentanyl, and yeah, arrest all those people, put them in jail. Don't let them out. You guys are the ones that let them out after 2 minutes. I like that. Come on down. Let's talk.
Gentleman from Ohio, reserve gentleman from New York is recognized. Speaker, I now yield 1 minute to the senior gentleman from Tennessee, Mr. Coleman, member of the Judiciary Committee, Mr. Coleman. Mr. Coleman is recognized for 1 minute. Thanks, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman. This has been an interesting debate. The few months of debate from the Republican side and members have been wanting to show their knowledge of weapons, their intimate knowledge of weapons. They're almost fetishes of weapons. Something no one can properly understand.
Oh, screw you. They want to explain how the weapons work because you don't even have any idea how firearms work. So they're doing that to prove you don't even know what the heck you're talking about, but you want to ban them anyways. It'd be like me trying to write rules for NASCAR, like engines. I don't know how the hell they work. Why would I say a 2-inch thing is better than a 3-inch one or whatever? The AR-15. See, this is why they talk about how they know more about it than you do, because you clearly don't know anything about it. That's stupid.
Gentlemen from New York reserves, gentlemen from Ohio reserves, gentlemen from New York is recognized. Speaker, how much time did you start? Next, the gentleman from Ohio has 45 seconds. We're prepared to close. Gentleman from Ohio is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, red flag laws take all guns from some people. This bill makes illegal some guns for all people, and we know where they want to go. We know what they want to do. They want to take all guns from all people.
Good way of saying it.
They can't stand the Second Amendment. They hate the Second Amendment. In fact, during the markup, the sponsor of the legislation said this, quote, "Spare me the BS about constitutional rights. While Republicans care about law-abiding citizens' constitutional liberties, their First Amendment rights, their Second Amendment rights, their Fourth Amendment due process rights, and all of those have been attacked by the Democrats over the last several months. That's why we should vote no on this legislation and let law-abiding Americans have the respect for the Second Amendment they deserve." I yield back.
That was well said. Red flag laws takes all guns from some people. The slogans ban takes some guns from all people. They want all guns from all people.
They're designed for ruthless efficiency, killing most people in the shortest amount of time.
Screw you.
The gentleman from Ohio is right. I did say in the committee, spare us the BS.
Yeah, you did say it because you don't give a shit about the Second Amendment.
About the Constitution, about the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment is designed not to allow people to fight the government.
Yes, it is.
We want to take up arms against American troops. Is that what they say?
If we have to.
You saw what that did with insurrection we had. And that was a mild case.
Oh, a mild case. Yeah. How is it an insurrection? No one even brought guns. You guys would have lost in 2 seconds if they did.
Which is to say, national law. The Sullivan's men will take the weapons of war off our streets to save countless lives. And that is why it is supported by all associations, police, the American Federation.
Yes, cops suck.
American Life Physicians, American Public Health
Not all.
Association,
Settle down, everybody. Not all.
and the National Alliance to End Sexual Violence, National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, major cities police chiefs association. They know what they're doing. The Sullivan is able to take these weapons of war off our streets to prevent more of the Uvaldes, more of the Parklands, more of the.
But I thought it wasn't going to take anybody's guns, but it takes guns off the street. How does that work?
Gentleman yields back. Time for debate has expired.
Okay, debate's over.
House Resolution 1302. The previous question is ordered on the bill as amended. The question is on engrossment and third reading of the bill. Those in favor shall say aye. Those opposed shall say no.
Third reading of the bill.
In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it.
Okay, so they're going to read it the third time. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to mute for a second. So, if I'm not mistaken, after the third reading of the bill, then they actually vote on the bill. Recommit. Okay. What does that mean?
Mr. Fitzgerald of Wisconsin moves to recommit the bill hr1808 to the Committee on the Judiciary.
So put it back in the committee.
Rule 19, the previous question is ordered on the motion to recommit. The question is on the motion. All those in favor shall say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed shall say no. In the opinion of the chair, the noes have it. The motion is not agreed to. Gentleman from Wisconsin requests the ayes and nays.
This is kind of the boring part because now they're going to go, okay, gentleman from so-and-so, yay. Gentleman from so-and-so, nay. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, I like that they put it on record, but this is now going to take a while.
Pursuant to clause 9, rule 20, the chair will reduce to 5 minutes the minimum time for any electronic vote on the question of passage. This is
What?
a 15-minute vote.
So there's a 15-minute vote on whether to send it back to committee, but they changed the rule for the actual passage. Now let's see, Span, explain it.
We expect to vote on final passage after this vote, and some work on amendments, votes on passed to that draft and filed by the.
Fucking ridiculous. Okay, so they're voting, blah, blah, blah. If they send it back to committee, then it wouldn't be, but they probably aren't going to. But did you hear what he said? So this vote has 15 minutes. Here, I'll unplug my phone for a second. There you go. You can see this is the vote to send it back into committee. They have 15 minutes. Okay, so it was going on for a little bit. The vote to actually pass the bill has been reduced to 5 minutes. So they get 15 minutes to decide if it should go back to committee or not. But if it doesn't, you only got 5 minutes to vote this shit down. So you ain't in the room? Screw you, you're done. 5 minutes, man. Hurry up. Oh, you had to go use the restroom? Too bad. 5 minutes, you're done. What the heck is that? Also, noticing from the earlier vote, a 15-minute vote literally took about 40 minutes. Because even after time expired, they had all these people that had called in. And so they kept walking up to the podium and going, on behalf of the chairperson from Arizona, I say nay. And then the next person will walk up, what reason do you want to speak? I choose to speak upon behalf of the spokesperson from the, I vote nay. Sorry, I'm just doing weird voices. But, yeah. So 15 minutes to go back to subcommittee, you get 5 minutes to vote on the whole thing. Now, hopefully everyone knows what they're going to vote anyways, but that means they got to be there. And if they're not there, their vote doesn't get counted. So, hey, you got 15 minutes to call your people. I know there's only 40 out here now. Call your people. See what they're doing. See if they're awake. Make sure they're paying attention. Make sure they're going to vote no. And if you have an anti-issue person, call them and tell them to go take a smoke break. It's only 5 minutes. By the time they walk out there and come back, they'll miss it. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, I know everyone. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of being slightly just being humorous. I mean, obviously, the people know what's going on. You know, yeah, you're right. The supporters make sure all their people are there, just like the antis make sure all their people are there. I mean, they're all phones are ringing for sure. But it just seems, I don't know, seems fishy. You know, we've seen this before when they do different votes and they go, oh, in my opinion, it's a yay and a nay vote. Like, oh, okay. Which, like I said, the whole verbal thing, yays and nays. Oh, it's my opinion, it was the yays. I request a actual roll call vote. Like, I like that. It gets everyone on record so no one can go back in time and say, I didn't vote for that thing. Please reelect me. So, anyways, I mean, I appreciate you guys coming along and watching with me here. I also want to say I appreciate the Legit Guns and Gear and what else is there, Rich? Anyways, the chat that I came from, they had me on earlier. He was live streaming this, then he had to stop. And when he stopped, I said, well, hopefully people come over to my channel because I'm going to go do it. And, you know, I apologize for any outbursts and whatnot, but I'm a human. I have emotions. I care about this stuff. And, you know, if you didn't want any commentary, then you can watch C-SPAN by yourself. And if you do want commentary, then you're here. Again, anyone who's watching in the future, hello. Hopefully this thing doesn't pass and you're not watching here from 10 years from now seeing what all went wrong. But if so, at least I have some history. I'm documenting history in the world. And so archaeologists can come back in time and see where it all went wrong. And they'll get to hear my lovely voice. And they'll go, oh, crap, he's totally right. I can't believe they changed the rule in only 5 minutes. That's the whole reason it passed. I'll be finished. So 10 minutes left on this vote. That's 15 yays, 12 nays, which in this one is a good thing because yay means go back to committee, which means it won't get voted on. What happened while I was out? Okay, BS. Well, they finished up their debate. Same old as far as all the talking points and whatnot. Right now, they are voting to recommit the bill to committee, which for pro-gun people, that would be a good thing. And for that vote, yay 15, nay 12. 9.5 minutes left for electronic voting. But I don't think they will recommit. But if they did, it would mean that it goes back to committee. And since they're about to go on vacation for a month starting today, then we wouldn't have to deal with it for a month. And then when they come back, it would be in committee where they can add amendments to it to change it, argue about some more, and then put it out to the floor to vote, or just let it die in committee where it just sits there. Which is another thing that could happen. So a yay vote would be really awesome right now. We could make history right now and just kill it completely. But I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. And then after this vote, if it does not get recommitted, it should be a vote on the actual passage. So that's going to be the money shot. That's going to be the real vote. Cooking dinner and looking at chat. Okay. Well, hopefully you're at least listening. So then you can hear my explanation. Because I'm not typing all that out. Unless someone else wants to type it all out. But anyways, we'll see what happens. I did find it very interesting. You know, the Republicans tended to call out the Democrats on a lot of their double talk, and the Democrats literally would just come up and pretend they didn't say anything and just like keep going with their things. So it's like I found it just as a debate strategy. I mean, these things are not actually really debates. I don't know how many like debates you guys have watched where it's actually trying to like make a convincing argument for your thing. But there's different ways to do it. Some people literally just have their script and they read it, and then the other person reads his half, and then you get time to rebuttal. And a good debater will address all of the points that the person said like in their first half and like counteract all of those. A bad one will just pretend the first half didn't happen and just do another thing. So it's like if it's an hour-long debate and it's like each person gets 2 segments of 15 minutes, the person will look at it as, oh, I get a half-hour lecture. Whereas the other one might look at it as, well, I'm going to do an opening thing, like this is what I plan to kind of prove, or this is my position, and here's why, and then actually go back and forth and answer the questions. And I've just noticed in here, the Republicans seem, I shouldn't even just say Republicans, but I hate that it even goes down party lines, but the people that are in opposition to this bill were actually responding to things that the people that were supporting the bill said. So they'd be like, oh, weapons of war, blah, blah, blah. And then the next person to talk would go, very interesting you mentioned weapons of war, because we in the committee tried to get it so that, the Department of Justice, or not Justice, but the Department of Education shouldn't have assault weapons of war, because that's what you said. And then in that committee, you told us that, oh, no, they're going to use it for defense. So then we said, well, how come the U.S. citizen can't use it for defense? Oh, no, how could you possibly use one of these guns for defense? The only purpose of it is assault and weapons of war. But you just said that the Department of Education needs it for defense. Well, yeah, they need it for defense, but you can't use it for defense because if you used it, it'd be an assault weapon. It's only used for killing as many people as possible. Well, how come then the EPA needs it? Well, the EPA needs to defend themselves against people that might have them to try to hurt the EPA. It was like crazy. And I do recommend you guys go back and watch the committee thing. G-Web's actually live streamed that one, which, he lets them talk a little bit more than I do, to be honest. There are times where people are making good points and I want to hear it out. And I might interrupt enough just to say, yes, good point, I agree. Or maybe to add on a little bit, which I did do a couple of times here where they mentioned the crime going down during the assault weapons ban. And they said, yeah, but, the study showed that it was only 8% were used long guns and that it didn't really help that much, blah, blah. No one ever tacked on that crime also kept going down in the 10 years after the ban. And I think that's very important. Like, obviously, causation and correlation and blah, 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 all that stuff, like, that's a good point. Also, during those 10 years, more video games were invented. Between 94 and 2004, a lot more video games. Crime went down. Does video games solve crime? I don't think so. But the point being, that's a good causation/correlation. Like, it is a true statement. More video games were invented between 94 and 2004, and crime went down between 94 and 2004. Those are both true. Also, crime kept going down between 2004 and 2014. When the assault weapons ban ended and more AR-15s and other type things were owned by people, that number went skyrocketing. Crime still kept going down about the same angle, if not at even a little bit steeper slope. I don't remember the chart exactly. But either way, like, they obviously cherry pick the years they want to look at to say, oh, crime's going down or crime's going up. And then, anyways, when the people that support these kinds of things, when they're just listing off what we've all heard a million times, the kids here, the people there, like listing off names and places, you don't need to hear that 20 million times. They're just trying to play with emotion. And it's like, somewhat, it makes me feel like, I don't know, I mean, like, they're trying to make me seem like a bad person, like I don't care. Obviously, I care. I don't want to see kids getting shot. That's bad. But it also makes me kind of callous to be like, yeah, okay, well, screw you. You're trying to take our stuff, and that's not a good enough excuse. How many kids die in car accidents? Should we, like, literally, if you banned all cars, not even just assault cars or high-performance assault cars, literally, if you banned all cars, there would be less traffic deaths. But I don't want to do that, obviously. Like, that's, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm kind of ranting now. but it's just like, or like pools or something, right? Kids drown in pools a whole bunch. Like, that's sad. I don't think you should take pools away. You have to have a responsibility and all that stuff. Like, that's the whole thing, right? Of a free society. And so yeah, I lost everybody. No one's even watching me anymore because I'm done ranting and there's nothing going on the TV. Maybe if I turn the camera on, you guys would see I am still watching it. There's just nothing special to see. They're just voting. But hopefully more people start tuning in after this vote's over, because that's going to be the important vote. And I mean, if you want to be part of history, you want to see it happen, this guy wants to go outside. I hear you. But you don't understand, dude. Like, theoretically, there's only 1:46 left. And I kicked myself out of my own chat, and I almost dropped the phone. Like I said, I wish there was another way to do this, because this dude's going to drive me nuts if I don't go outside. What if I run out real quick? Real quick? You promise it's going to be real quick? Okay, real quick. Here we go, real quick. I was trying to charge my phone too, though, because I don't know. Sorry, I'm trying to think of ways if I could, like, I said, I'm on my phone. Can't really, like, open up multiple windows and stuff. I do want to see the vote. Although, if it's anything like last time, even after the counted vote, which only has a minute left, they still have a bunch more people calling. That's what I'm just find my shoes. I can almost hear my TV from down here. You guys probably can't hear that. That's probably really quiet. But I wonder if I can hear it from outside. Gonna see. Oh, now I only got one person watching, man. Nobody likes me. Okay. There's the dog. He's happy. We're gonna play. But I'm not even gonna sit down. Oh. And then if I hear the TV going on, because I do have the window open, I'm thinking I should be able to hear my TV if I heard it down in the basement. And then I'll run inside and show the vote. Anyways, while we have this time here, there's something that I've been tossing around in my head, an idea. And I've tossed it out to a couple different places, and some of you guys might already know what I'm talking about, but I think what I'm going to start doing is doing a series of videos. I'll probably do them as a live stream, but not just a random chat. Like, it's going to be like a not produced, but it's going to be like a topic-oriented video that just happens to be recorded live. And the idea is I want to debunk a lot of the anti-gun talking points. For example, like kind of what I did earlier today is the whole crime went down during the 94 to 2004 assault weapons ban. True, but also it kept going down between 04 and 14. So, like, stuff like that. And my thought of it is, I'm actually going to like do a little bit of research and stuff. So it'll definitely be better than just my random rants. What I haven't decided is, am I going to do them at random times, which is probably most likely. However, I'd like to get guests on that have an informed opinion that could also help debunk the things. And if that's the case, I know that always works better when you plan stuff ahead. So I have some homework to do. First off, I need a list of what I'm going to debunk, which I'm open to ideas, and you could either put them in the chat here, or better yet, leave them as a comment. Maybe I'll do a video explaining what I want to do once I get closer to thinking about it. But anyways, you guys know where to find me on the Instagrams, or on Gilded if you're on those, or on my channel or whatever. Like, leave me some comments, give me some ideas. I want to do a brainstorm. Maybe I'll do that, a live video chat of a brainstorming of what the topic should be. Then I'll take those and I'll do some research and make some spreadsheets or whatever, and I'll put it all together. And then we'll just pick one topic at a time. Unless they only take 5 minutes, then maybe I'll do, I don't know. Well, even if it does take 5 minutes, I kind of want to keep it one topic at a time per video and put them together in a little playlist. So, I don't know. That's something that I've been thinking about. It's kind of like in a way, I don't know, I might do it as like I'll probably do it as a series. I don't know if it'll be scheduled. But it's kind of something I want to do as part of an effort towards like kind of doing some more like Every Second Matters type stuff. Right? Like that's kind of one of the things. Like Every Second Matters is talking about the Second Amendment rights. And yeah, we do that every month. And I still like joining in on the monthly chats, and I always try and do something. I need to do my legislative updates more often. I've said that the last 2 months in a row and haven't done them. Although this month, August, will be pretty interesting if 1808 passes. I already know what I'm going to talk about. But like I said, I think I might also do a kind of debunking comment things. One of the things I'd like to do, but I'm not really good at video editing, and I just like doing stuff on my phone. Like I do have a laptop, but it's like old and slow, and I don't know. I just really don't use it. It's kind of packed away. But yeah, we're done playing because I got to go back in and see what's going on with this vote. My dog feels scammed. Oh yeah, I hear talking. Let's see what the heck's going on up there. But crap. Oh, anyways, one of the things that I've watched in other things where someone will like take a video of someone, doing blah 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 whatever, and then they chop it up and they literally go point by point and like debunk all the different things. Like some of them I've seen like debunking flat earthers or whatever, and I watch it because it's entertaining. Like it's not that hard to debunk a flat earther, but I give those people a lot of credit for taking it so seriously as to literally be like, oh, you think because of this and this, well, here's how you prove that wrong. And it's just made me think, like, why shouldn't I do that with Second Amendment as well? Like, there's plenty of myths about gun control that are out there. So that's an upcoming project that I want to work on. And I encourage anyone who has ideas or something you want to hear. I tend to be more statistic-based type stuff. Like that's what I nerd out about. But okay, they're still taking roll call. So it's 78 to 79 right now with 0 time left. Oh, it just turned to 83, 84. 0 time left. 268 more votes to come in with 0 time left. Yet they let them still have time to do it. No, don't go back downstairs. All right. I guess my dog is going to hang out back downstairs. Oh, you guys want dinner? All right, 82 to 89. Yes to no. And again, this is the vote to recommit, which would be sending it back to the committee and not voting on it today, which means it would at least stop for another month if we have to go on vacation. At best, they will go back on the committee and sit there for the end of the session and then it disappears. That'd be best case scenario. Well, in best case scenario, would be vote today, vote today. But I think realistically, our best chance is to get it back to the committee and let it sit there and die.
Mississippi. Mr. Crawford.
I'm not reading off a bunch of people.
Johnson, South Dakota.
I'm gonna mute here for a minute and then I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, everyone, but unfortunately, I am a human who does human things. Oh, my dogs are all fed now. They're happy. So, charging my phone. Let me see how much cord I have. I might still be able to show this. Yeah, I'm trying to see it. But anyways, just a reminder, this is a 15-minute vote that's been going on for, I don't know, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, half hour at this point. Time remaining 0, 225 remaining votes. But it's 96 to 110. Oh, 95 to 112. Interesting. But yeah. So this after this vote should be a 5-minute vote for the bill itself. And what do you guess? This 15-minute vote, which has been going on for 25 minutes to a half hour, and they keep letting people call in and say their thing. But what do you bet their 5-minute vote? They're going to let that go on for another half hour. I bet you if they're getting their way, they're going to go, well, 5 minutes is up. You guys are done. You snooze, you lose, buddy. But on this one, where they want it to go no, they're like, yep, go ahead. Let everyone come in with their votes. Although I guess also on that same thing, if they're not winning, how much you bet they will let it go longer than 5 minutes? If they still need like more of the supporters to call in, they'll let them just keep calling in. It's like, well, I thought this was a 5-minute vote. And they're like, oh no, well, we're gonna wait, let some people call in. Basically what I'm saying is no matter which way, they'll either end it short if they're winning and people didn't call in, or they're gonna let it go if they're losing at the time and let people call in so that they do end up winning. That is my prediction. But basically, the counter at the bottom of the screen, this is time remaining 0. It has been saying that for the past 15 minutes. That on the next one, which is only supposed to be 5 minutes, that timer is going to mean nothing. That's my prediction. Well, there's only one of you out there. Anyway, so that's okay. Maybe someone's watching in the future. If you're watching in the future, you made it all the way through here. Congrats, dude. Thank you. Leave a comment. Let me know. I know a lot of people think this is nerdy and boring, and maybe it is, but hey, I'm a boring nerd, so this is what I do. And if you are also a boring nerd, then come join me sometime. We'll have some fun. I'm just not very good at killing time. At least during the debate, I had stuff to respond to over and over and over again. Like, which again was part of that's. I guess I could finish up my story of why I want to do the debunking thing. One, because I've been seeing completely different topics basically do the same thing. Like I said, debunking flat earth or debunking, whatever, all this different like science stuff, because I'm a nerd, like I said. But then the other part of it was during the subcommittee, the same things coming over and over and over again. And I'm just like, there has to be a concise, like simple, like response to this. And I want to try and figure out what it is and then make it. So that idea, that kind of formed even more was when I was seeing all that stuff going on. And it's like,
So again, this is the procedural vote.
The procedural vote.
Here in the House on this assault weapons ban, which, as we were saying, was part of a larger package of bills.
Yeah, we know. Sorry, that guy's annoying. It was a larger package of bills. They split it up. That's what it was when they said, "Oh, we're not going to vote on it." Remember, everyone was hooping and hollering on Wednesday night, saying, "Oh, they're not going to vote for it. It's done." Blah, blah, blah. That's because it was a larger bill, and because there was a part in there about, they call it police funding, but it's basically like anti-racist police, from what I understand. Like, they want to fund being able to go after cops that are racist, which, if that's exactly what it is, like, I support that. I don't want to tie it up with an assault weapons ban, but like, I'm cool with getting rid of bad cops. Like, if they do bad stuff and they break the rules, like, yeah, they should get in trouble for it. It just makes everybody better. But the point is, that part like wasn't going to pass. So a bunch of people were like, well, if you're not going to pass the thing about the cops, we're not going to vote for the assault weapons ban. That's when Skeletor pulled it and said, okay, we're not going to vote on it. Well, at some point Thursday night, there must have been some handshaking going on, and they decided, okay, we're going to vote for your guys' cop thing. So will you vote for our gun ban thing? And I said, yeah, okay, sure, no problem. And that's why it was put up on to vote today. That being said, in order to do that, because they had to split it off of the main, like the one that had more stuff in it and all this. Let me just double check. Okay. She's just naming people that are voting still. Because they had to do that, they had to change the rules to allow them to do it. And that was the vote that they did, or they did something last night, and then that was the vote they had this morning. That basically is like, hey, we're voting to ignore our own rules so we can get what we want. And that was the vote earlier this morning. Once that happened, then they said, okay, we agree the rules don't matter. Therefore, here we are on the debate and then now the vote. So that sums you up for everything that's happened so far today, from best of my knowledge. So it looks like, I'm trying to see my screen on my phone. I can't really read the TV. I don't know if you guys can read my TV or not. But right now, it's 122 yes to 156 no. There's just under 123, but the Democrats have all been no. It's 154, and 2 of the Republicans voted no. So there's already more Democrats than Republicans anyways. And then 2 of them voted no. So I'm hoping that's not a sign of like when the actual vote comes up. Oh, someone just changed. And I was only 1 Republican that voted no. See, this is a 15-minute vote. It's been going on for a half hour, and votes are changing. Like, you just change your mind after the fact? I'd love to go. Can I go back to the polls and like change my vote from 2002? Like, I don't like that person. I changed my mind. Can I go back in time and change it and then they get kicked out of office? Like, what the heck? Oh, that's something. Okay, yeah. So earlier today, I was watching on, C-SPAN, but they were talking about wildfires and stuff. And then I found a stream on YouTube that actually had video from like inside like the little side room. I couldn't find that anywhere, but like they were talking about this bill, and I forget what they were doing, something to vote to put it on the like to put it into the floor or whatever, something, blah blah blah, whatever. I'm not quite sure exactly, to be honest. I'm not sure what it was. This lady called in, right? She's not there, and they were doing the vote. She calls in. She goes, "Yeah, I want to call in. I vote no." And the committee chairman, who was a supporter of the bill, literally says, "Oh no, I think you mean yes. We're gonna count that as a yes." And then she goes, "Oh, okay. I guess I vote yes." And I'm like, first off, okay, you're calling into a thing instead of being there. I mean, I guess whatever, work from home, work remote, that's the thing nowadays. But they literally were like, she voted, I forget which one it was now, but like she voted no, and the dude was like, "You don't mean that. You mean yes." And then she said, "Oh, okay, I guess I mean yes." It's like, I get it. She probably is of the same team as that guy. So if he was voting yes on it, she probably should also. But you don't like, you don't get to just change. Like, if you make a mistake and you accidentally vote for the wrong side, tough luck, dude. Like, you voted the wrong side. I can't do that at the ballot. If I punch the little thing and go pokey pokey poke and go, "Oh crap, I poked the wrong thing." Like, I don't get to glue the little circle back in and poke another hole. So I think it should be, hey, you voted, you called it in, you don't get to change your mind. It's not my fault that you're confused. And then that scares me too. You're too confused to figure out how Zoom works, and we're letting you vote on the thing if you get to take away AR-15s from future generations or not? I don't think so. If you're too stupid to keep up with what's going on, like, they said, "Hey, we're going to vote on this thing, yes or no." You called in, you said no, you meant yes, so that's your own fault. Like, I don't think your vote should count. And that's the same thing with all these guys pointing out, like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about, this and that." Like, I like that strategy. Oh, one of the Democrats voted yes. Okay. Two have voted yes. That's cool. Um, I do like that strategy of being like, "Hey, you guys don't understand what you're talking about, and here's why. Like, this is this and that, blah blah blah. You didn't even know an M1 Garand existed, and that it actually was a weapon of war, and that it does fire a much like bigger caliber than an AR-15." They showed a video of like a 9mm going through ballistic gel, and then a 223 going through ballistic gel, and then they stopped. And literally right after, the dude jumped in and goes, "Well, hey man, like, how about you show a video of a 30-06 going through ballistic gel?" And that snarky my cousin Vinny, that little weasel who introduced this whole thing, he goes, "Well, if you wanna ban M1 Garands, I'm more than happy to discuss it with you, and we can ban those too." Which just proves he literally, like, he does want to ban all guns. He's just going for the ones he thinks he can get. Obviously, the Republicans' point was, "Hey man, like, if you think the AR-15 is high powered and they're weapons of war, why aren't you going after actual weapons of war, M1 Garands?" And then that my cousin Vinny's response is, "Well, yeah, sure, okay. Are you introducing an amendment to ban M1 Garands also?" Which, if I was I think it was Blue Suit who was fighting on him with it. Sorry, I have nicknames for all these people. If you guys weren't watching the committee, you might not understand who Blue Suit is. I'm bad with names. I think it was Blue Suit, but like, if I was him, I'd be like, "Okay, sure, amendment to ban all semi-automatic rifles," because that sounds. Oh, hang on, that sounds bad, right? You guys are saying, "Oh man, Smeggies gone anti-2A," but that's the whole point. If you want to repeal the Second Amendment, like, okay, let's put that to a vote, because I think you're going to get your ass handed to you. And that's why you can't say the quiet part out loud and say that you do want to ban all semi-automatic guns everywhere. So So you just go with assault weapon, quote unquote. So I'd be like, yeah, you know what? Screw it. Under your logic, we probably should ban weapons of war under your logic. So let's put it to a vote where everyone can see what you're doing. And for one, you're going to wake up a hell of a lot more FUDs if all of a sudden all your M1 Garands are getting banned and everything, your wood stocked, no pistol grip, semi-auto guns are also being banned. And I don't think they would get the votes for it, which is why they do this piecemeal one thing at a time, little by little, because it's the whole, oh, that doesn't affect me, I don't care. Oh, it's only bump stocks, I don't have a bump stock, I don't care. Oh, it's only pistol braces, I don't have a pistol brace, I don't care. Oh, it's only, this thing, that thing, I don't have one of those, I don't care. I mean, I don't really need a suppressor, right? Like, who cares? Whatever. Like, to take them off the NFA by banning them completely. Like, who cares? Blah, blah. Like, I understand that's their strategy. They get us fighting with each other, and that's how it works. But anyways, just tactically speaking, I don't know. Maybe I should be a politician one day. I'd kill it. But tactically speaking, I'd be like, you know what? Yeah, I amend it. Let's ban all guns because that's what you want to do anyways. And let the American people know that's actually what you want to do and see how they feel about it. And then the other part, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of sidebarring all over the place. I'm just waiting for the stupid 15-minute vote that's been going on for an hour to end so they can get to the 5-minute vote that they'll probably only give you 2 minutes for, and then they'll stop because they have enough support. Or it will last 5 hours if they don't have enough support. And those Democrats just took away their yays. How do these things change it? This is crazy. But anyways, like, what was I getting at? Oh, the whole thing where they were talking about, oh man, these weapons of war are used to like fight against the government. But then we had people at the January 6th and they were fighting against the government, and it was so bad. It was because of gun industry. And they look at, oh, what was that the other thing earlier today? That dude was like, oh, I was a media, or not media, like an ad marketing. I was a marketing executive for this company, and look, here's a picture I took, and it's got basically a dude from 1776, but he's shooting an AR-15. He's like, I mean, their whole marketing strategy was, shoot it at the government or just overthrow the government. And then January 6th happened, so the gun industry caused January 6th because that's the rhetoric of overthrowing your government. Then how come nobody at those protests, none of them showed up with guns? And the whole building got overrun by grandma holding a sign. I'm not trying to go all down that whole thing, but some of those people there were there to actually do harm. Some of them were. There were definitely people in there who thought that they were doing the Boston Tea Party. They thought they were going to be the shot heard around the world. Even those people didn't bring a firearm. So how exactly was they, like, I don't know, whatever. Like, I guess what's happening is all of their things are mixing around in my head. The point of being, oh, AR-15s, oh, you're stupid. How could you use them against the government? Because, like, we have nuclear weapons and tanks and fighter jets and blah, 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 whatever. So these are evil, scary guns. It's hard because none of their shit makes sense. AR-15s, evil, scary guns, weapons of war, only used for assault. How come the Department of Education needs them? Because they use them for defense. Can I have them for defense? No, you cannot, because they're weapons of war. The Second Amendment was not written to overthrow the government. Why do you need an AR-15? Because it's going to overthrow the government. Oh, but you'll never win against the government because we have F-16s. Okay, so if we're never going to win against the government, why should we have them? Oh, well, you can't have them because you're going to try and overthrow the government, and we're so scared of that. Yeah, but you just said we're not going to win, so why don't you let us try? Oh, well, no, you're not allowed to because they're weapons of war and they're scary, and you would win. Oh, but we're not going to win. Oh, but then January 6th, oh, man, like the gun industry made people attack the Capitol on January 6th. Yeah, but nobody brought any guns. Yeah, but we got overrun anyways. So just imagine if we did bring guns, you totally would have got overrun. Yeah, but you're never going to win against the government, so you shouldn't even try. Well, if we're not going to try, then why can't we just have them anyways? Well, you can't have them because they're assaults and they're evil and they're only weapons of war. Why does the Department of Education need them? Because they're going to use them for defense. Well, we want to use them for defense. Well, you can't use them for defense because you're going to use them against the government. But we're not going to win against the government. But if you did win against the government, but you're not going to. It's crazy. This is it's circular logic, like figure eight logic. It doesn't like. Those are some of the points though that like every time I hear them, it's like I can't not think that kind of stuff. Like one day they're the most evil, most effective killing machines ever. Okay, well then, you know, I why do you need them? Oh, because they're only used for defense. Well, I want to use them for defense. No, you're going to overthrow the government. Oh, no, okay, but you can't overthrow the government, so why even bother? Like, either these guns are magic and they kill everything that ever existed, or these guns are horrible and suck because the government has F-16s and there's no point even trying. And it's like, well, if there's no point even trying, then I'm not going to try, so then let me have them. Like, make up your mind. They're either the best ever or they are horrible and don't do anything, so why do you want them anyways? Okay, there's 20 votes left, 19 votes left, so hopefully this one's ending soon. And then we'll get to the good stuff. The actual vote. Right now, I mean, it keeps changing, but it was. There were at one point there were 3 Democrats that wanted to recommit, which is good for us. Those have all disappeared now, changed, but we're down to like 16 left, right? So 202 to 213. There's 16 left. If all those 16 go to yes, then we would win, right? Yeah, it'd be 218 to 213. But each side has 8 left. But if those 3 Democrats were still a yes, and they'd only have 5 left, which would make 218 or 218, and that would be 205 with 8 left. So that'd be 2. Yeah, I don't know, man. It is basically going down party lines, except for one Republican that said no. But again, I don't like the Republican Democrat thing. I'll be honest. Like the fact that there's a row for independent, if there are no independents, like of all these people, like I kind of get why independents, like a third party, is like not going to win the presidency. Now I've had that debate before. Personally, I do vote libertarian for president if I'm in a state that is definitely going to be one way or the other. If it's a swing state, maybe vote against the person you don't like. If you're in California, New York, or Texas or Florida or whatever, well, I think Florida swings, but you know what I mean. Like if it's super red or super blue, go ahead and vote for like someone like a libertarian because maybe you can affect policy. Your person might not win, but the people on both sides are going to look at that vote and go, "Oh crap! How do we get the third party people to vote for us next time? I'm going to do stuff that the third party people like." That's neither here nor there. So, but I get it, right? Like you're probably not going to win like a presidency anytime soon. But on the representative, like, there's a whole bunch of them, right? Like even senator, okay, there's only 2 from each state, so probably the big parties are going to win. But how we don't have any little districts somewhere that believe in a third party, like it's still just the big 2. It's crazy to me. There should be, I mean, I'm not even saying a bunch, but like just break it down from people I've talked to. Like there should at least be of the whole country, there should be like 50 representatives that are libertarians or something. Like they got to win somewhere. And that's where on the local level and even like on the state level, right? Like the state representative, like that's broken down so small. It's basically like if you and your next door neighbor vote for the same person, they win. You know what I mean? Like that's totally doable because it's so few people voting for the district of the thing of the whatevers. Okay, I think this is it.
These are 220. The motion is not adopted.
So it's not going to committee. Here we go. This is it. This is it right here.
Shall say aye. Those opposed shall say no.
I mean, the no's sound louder. You're stupid. The no's totally sounded louder.
Gentlemen, request the yeas and nays. Yeas and nays are requested. Those favoring a vote by the yeas and nays will rise.
He's laughing because he's like, yeah, I know it didn't even sound like the yays had it, but I had to say it anyways because I'm trying to get it through.
This is a
5 minutes, folks. Unless they're not winning, then it's going to go on for another 2.5 hours.
For what purpose does the gentlelady from Georgia seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as a member designated by Mr. Bob Good of Virginia, I inform the House that Mr. Good will vote no on HR 1808.
For what purpose does the gentlelady?
Okay, so they're all going to, I'm going to turn it down a little bit.
Mr. Speaker, as a member designated by Representative Jeffrey of New York, pursuant to House Resolution 8, I inform the House that Representative Jeffrey will vote yes on HR 1808, assault weapons ban of 20.
So this is everyone calling in, right?
For what
So
purpose does the gentlelady from Missouri seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker.
I want to see the numbers, dude. Quit cutting away.
Mr. Barr by Kentucky and Mr. Guthrie of Kentucky. I inform the House that Mr. Barr, Mr. Guthrie, and Mr. McHenry will vote nay on HR 1808.
For what
So we're
purpose
65
does
to
the gentleman from
82 right now.
seek recognition?
Nays are winning
Member
so far.
designated by Congress members Haley, Mike Thompson, Andy Levin, Cordell.
You guys are witnessing
Caldwell,
the
Richie Torres,
historical
and
vote.
Keating.
Only 2 of you are out there. Tell your friends.
Yes, on HR 1808.
Oh, your microphone's off because you suck.
I inform the House that Mr. Cuellar will vote no on HR
Ooh.
1808.
That means that's a Democrat now.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Pennsylvania seek recognition? Mr. Speaker, as a member.
We need a couple more of them Democrat
Smucker,
no's.
Pennsylvania, I inform the House that Mr. Smucker will vote no on HR 1808. For what purpose does the gentleman from New Jersey seek recognition?
The no's are getting in fast. Watch it go longer than 5 minutes because right now the no's have it.
Johnson, Mr. Camilla John, Mr. John Garamendi, Mr. Donald Payne, Mr. Peter Welch, and
Blah, blah, blah.
Series, I inform the House that these members will vote yes on HR 1808.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Pennsylvania?
98, 114.
Designated by Yellow Beach of Ohio, Stefanik of New
Look at these
York.
little, they got little red cards. The other guy had little green cards.
Pennsylvania, and also Clover of Kentucky. All those members will be voting no on passage. All right. For what purpose does the gentlelady from Texas seek recognition?
See? Green.
By Ms. Spear of
Green.
California, Ms. Leger Fernandez from New Mexico, and from the House that these members will vote yes on HR 1808.
They must have to write the names down as like an
For
official.
what purpose does a gentleman from Michigan seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as a member designated by Mr. Kinzinger of Illinois, Mr. Rice of South Carolina, Mr. Catco of New York, I inform the House that Mr. Kinzinger, Rice, and Catco will vote nay on HR 1808.
Yay, more red cards. Good job, red card. This is happening.
For what purpose does a gentleman from Georgia seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as a member designated by Ms. McBath of Georgia, pursuant to HRS 8, I inform the House that Ms. McBath will vote yes on HR 1808.
Boo, green
For what
cards.
purpose does a gentleman from Florida seek
We need more red
recognition?
cards.
Mr. Speaker, as a member designated by Mr.
He has a green card in his hand.
House and Mr. Stubing will vote no on HR 1808.
Oh, but he said no. Interesting. Maybe my thing is incorrect.
For what purpose does the gentlelady from Illinois seek recognition? As a member designated by Ms.
I mean, we're up by 17 right now. This is happening, boys and gals. This is happening.
HR 1808.
For what
Okay,
purpose
up by
does the
12.
gentleman from Ohio seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by Mr. West.
I mean, you know, people can not vote. Like, some of the yays could just not vote, and we could win.
Mr. LaHood will vote nay on HR.
Good.
1.
Look at how many red cards that guy's got in his hand. There's like 50 of them right there. Put them all down.
Mr. Speaker, as a member designated by Mr. Cardenas.
Ooh, what's her text message say? What does that say?
Yay. On
Did she just give away trade
1808.
secrets?
For what purpose
Can someone
does
zoom
the
in,
gentleman from
enhance?
Texas seek recognition?
We're up by 7.
Your birthday, happy birthday, and as represented by Mr. John Carter, Gary Granger, Troy Nails of Texas, Paul Wilbur, and 194, the House, they will all vote nay on the HR 1808.
For what purpose does a gentleman
Oh,
from
man.
California
Only
seek
5.
recognition?
We're up by 5.
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by Representatives Lloyd Doggett and Ella Noah. I inform the
Boo.
House that these members will vote yes on HR 1808. For what purpose does a gentleman from Texas seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as I'm designated by Mr. Madden, Texas, I inform the House, Mr. Madden will vote no on 1808.
I mean, time remaining. 0. It's over. 44, 155. It's over. We win. But no, of course, all you guys get to call in. Blah, blah, blah. Like you saw that, right? We win.
For what purpose does
We are winning. 0 time left. We win. Why change it to 5 minutes if you're going to let them blabble on a whole bunch? I mean, that guy's allowed to because he said no. But we voted faster than you. We win. No. No. You, yes, no, but no. Oh, 3 Democrats vote no. But time 0. It's over.
Miss Williams, Miss Moore.
It's like going to overtime in the Stanley Cup playoffs, like, because you're down by 8 points. Like, no, it's over. You lose.
I inform the House that those
You
members
get nothing, sir. Good day.
1808. For what purpose does a gentleman from Tennessee seek
For-
recognition? Mr. Speaker.
I know it shouldn't be Democrat versus Republican, but we know it's pretty much on party lines. So the interesting part is when people jump. And 4 Democrats voting no is better than 0 voting no.
Of Tennessee, Mr.
Yeah, look at all them
Mr.
reds.
Crawford of Arkansas,
All them
and
reds.
Mr. Johnson of South Dakota. I inform the House that all of the above will vote nay on HR 1808. Thank you. For what purpose?
Boom, add that shit up.
New York seek
That's a lot of
recognition?
no's.
As the member designated by Ms. Bush, Mr. Bowman, Ms. Presley, Ms. Tlaib, and Ms. Stansbury, I inform the House that these members will vote yes
Wait.
on HR
Wait.
1808.
Okay, so she's there, right? That's the AOC. And yet she had somebody else say her vote for her.
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by
Right.
Mr. Taylor from Texas.
That was earlier.
Ms. Mallory
Like 2 people before her were like, oh, AOC says no or says yes.
HR 1808.
But she's there, so she should have had to vote. We're still winning. 0 time, we're winning.
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by Ms. Porter, I inform the House that Ms. Porter will vote yes on HR 1808.
Dumb.
For what purpose does the gentleman?
So the thing is, right, they have 52 more people.
As a
They
member
only have 37
designated by
more.
Ms.
So
Steele
even
of
though the
California,
no's have it,
I inform the
if it
House that
goes
Ms.
on party
Steele will
lines,
vote
it's
no
gonna
on
end
HR
up
1808.
overwhelming.
For what purpose does the gentlelady from
Right, up by
Florida
10,
seek
but
recognition?
they
Mr. Speaker,
have
as the member designated by
12 more
Mr.
votes.
Smith,
12 more
Ms. C.
people.
Maloney of New York, Mr.
If it
Lawson
goes
of
down party
Florida,
lines, which I'm kind of
Mr.
assuming,
Crest
but
of
I'm
Florida,
interested to see
Ms.
if
Ranks
a
of
couple
New
people
York,
jump
Mr.
on.
Deutsch of Florida.
Oh, get rid
I
of your
inform the
green.
House
Go
that
away,
Ms. Smith
green
will vote
cards.
yes
Get
on
out of
HR
here.
1808.
I want more red ones.
For what purpose does the gentleman from West Virginia seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as the
Yeah,
member
this guy's got
designated
red
by
ones.
Mrs. Miller
Get rid of your green tie, though. Go away, green
I
tie.
inform the House that Mrs. Miller will
Yeah,
vote
there's red.
nay
There's red.
HR 1808.
You had a red card.
For what purpose does a gentleman from Maryland seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as a member designated by Mr. Boyle, Mr. Ruppersberger.
Look at everyone on their phone. Everyone's, oh, don't tell them I said yeah, too. Go ahead.
I inform the House those members will vote yay on HR 1808.
What if the dude was just lying? What if you just look around and see who's not there and then vote for them? And just pretend like they told you to.
Mike Johnson, Louisiana, I inform the House Representative Johnson to vote no on HR 1808. For what purpose does the gentlelady from New Hampshire rise?
Okay, I mean,
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated.
ooh, she's got a lot of green ones in her hand.
Ms.
Not
Craig,
good.
Ms. Frankel, Ms. Dingle, Mr. Duke Blumenauer, and Mr. Bryan. I inform the House that these members will vote yes on HR 1808.
Boo.
For what purpose does the
So
gentleman
tied
from
up.
Florida seek recognition?
Was it 36 to 33 left?
By Mr. Wilson of South Carolina, inform the House that
So if they go party lines, they win by 3.
on HR 1808.
For what purpose does a gentleman from Rhode Island seek
Mr.
recognition?
Speaker, as a member designated.
We'll see.
by Ms. Sewell of Alabama.
Oh, my cousin Vinny. Shut up, my cousin Vinny. You guys hear that in the background? My dog does not like it.
North Carolina seek recognition.
Mr. Speaker, as member designated by Mr. Wilson of Colorado, Mr. Gates of Florida, I inform the House that these members will vehemently vote no on 1808.
Legitimately vote no. Good. That's even more than a no. Also, why are there like kids hanging out? Like, dude, just sitting around. You know, 8-year-old.
I inform the House that Mr. Gibbs will
Why is he
vote
allowed to be there?
yea on HR 1808.
So tied up. 80, 184, 184, 33 to 30 left. But see, 4 people there. 1 Republican jumped and said yes.
Mr. Speaker, as member designated for Stuart Little.
But this is a 5-minute vote. Should be all.
Reno Curtis, I inform the House that they will vote nay on HR 1808.
Tied up again.
What
Oh,
purpose of the general
yays
committee
are up by
item
1.
Senators Walorski and Ms. Sparks, both in Indiana. I inform the House that Ms. Walorski and
So
Ms.
2
Sparks
more
will
no's.
vote no on HR 1808. What purpose of the gentleman from Colorado rise?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Designated by Ms. Diana Degatta.
I mean, this is it, guys. This is 1808. This is yes or no, whole shebang.
Mr. Tom Swazi of New York and Mr. David Scott of Georgia. I inform the House that these members will vote yes on HR 1808.
What purpose of the gentleman from Oklahoma seat recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as a member designated by Mr. Gonzalez of Texas.
It seems like they yep, they are voting right now, G-Webs.
On HR 1808.
There's 50 people left to vote, 189 to 192.
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by Mr.
This is for the whole thing. This is the actual bill itself. Voting yes or no.
Will vote no on HR 1808. Thank you.
What purpose of the gentleman
Also,
from South
I'm
Carolina
posting-
seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Donald of Florida, Mr. Donald of Nay on HR 1808.
Post a link if anyone. I'll probably do after chat once the vote's over as well. We can talk about it. 196 to 192. So the yeses are winning, but we got 5 nays and
Mr. Speaker, as
Democrats.
member designated by Ms. Hartzler from Missouri, I inform the House that Ms. Hartzler will vote nay on HR 1808.
So we're getting there. 39 more people to vote. Yeses are starting to take the lead, huh? We have 5 Democrats no, 2 Republicans yes. You can see there's more Republicans left to vote, right? 5 extra ones. If they all vote no, that's still only 198 to 202.
So this final passage of this assault weapons ban, after this, we expect a couple of amendment votes and then a procedural vote and final passage on that wildfire and drought bill. Then a final passage vote on the big cat public safety.
Assault cats, they should call it.
Suspension bills, and that should be good for the.
Sorry about the narrator there.
And we'll leave the House into their August recess.
I mean, so if we get, there's 10 left, right? So we get 20 votes, that's still, what would that be? Still just 205. Right? So we need, yeah, we're down by 10 right now. We're down by 10, and there's 24 left. But, time remaining, 0. They're still voting. I thought it was only supposed to take 5 minutes. I mean, I'm okay with it taking a little bit longer because all those 14 people, if they all voted and the 8 don't vote, then we would end up taking over. Oh, we're only down by 8 now. Oh, down by 7, 12 to 8. So these are all the Republican no's coming in. If they all come in no's and the Democrats don't vote, those last 8 people don't vote, I'm cool with that. Yeah, I mean, only down by 5, down by 4, 9 to 8. So yeah, I guess we'd have to get them to 3 of them to flip. My math right? If all those come in. Oh, rock on. Yeah, going through a chat to catch up, going too fast. All right, I mean, we're down by 5. Yeah, we're gonna need a couple more flips here. I think we can hope. There's still hope. They like to make it a nail biter. I just want to say we were winning after 5 minutes. They changed the rules to only be 5 minutes, and yet we were winning after 5 minutes, and they're still going. Down by 2, 7 people left. Down by 1, 6 people left. I mean, it's possible. Yeah, we need all 3 of those Dems to flip. There goes that, right? 2 left. It's going to be 216 to 215. If he flipped. So yeah, it's there you go. 1 left. We lost by 2. Or by 3, I guess. Right? Yeah. If it votes nay, we lost by 3. I mean, that's interesting. Get that last vote in there so we can take a nice screenshot. But I hope they're yelling, but there's 1 left. Maybe that dude's not going to vote. Lost by 4. Although we saw votes change before. Maybe someone will flip real quick. Let's just do that. Let's take all these flips and put them into there.
On this vote, the yeas are 217, the nays are 213.
Oh, you won by 4, you fucking bitch.
That objection of
Well, that-
is laid upon the table.
I mean, that's it. It passed. I don't want to listen to these people no more. Well, I'm glad I got a mute because now she's like, "What? Now what? Huh? Where do I go now? What are we doing? Huh? But I don't understand. Did we win? I'm supposed to be doing the whole thing, but I don't. Where am I? What? Like, that's not, I mean, I'm making fun of her, but that's not me cutting the audio in and out. That's C-SPAN being like, oh crap, she sounds stupid.
Resolution 1254 and Rule 18, the chair declares the House and the Committee of the whole House on the State of the Union for further consideration of H.R. 5118. Will the gentleman from New York, Mr. Higgins, kindly take the chair?
Okay, I don't know. I don't know if this is the Assault Cats one or which one this one is.
Go with that.
Oh, we'll go with that. Oh, I swear, I'm not cutting the audio in and out. The C-SPAN is.
Committee of the whole House on the State of the Union and for further consideration of H.R. 5118.
I'm just curious what
which the clerk
5118
will
is.
report by title.
Meeting calendar number 326, HR 5118.
Those are your final results.
Agriculture to prioritize the completion of the Continental Divide National Scenic Trail and for other purposes.
This isn't Placa yet.
When the Committee of the whole rose earlier today, a request for recorded vote.
She just said something about completing the Continental Divide Trail. Because I thought Placa was like 24 or something. 2413 maybe? I don't remember exactly. They will vote on that later today as well, from what I hear. But anyways, if anyone wants to come in and have a little chit chat, I'll be on for a little bit longer. Then I actually go outside now, put my dog. I don't have to be providing audio anymore. He's happy about that. He's not happy about the assault weapons ban passing. 217 to 213. Missed it by 4. We flipped 5 Democrats. They flipped 2 Republicans. So if they wouldn't have flipped those 2 Republicans, we would have lost by 2. And then if we would have flipped 3 Republicans, we would have, or 3 Democrats, we would have won by 1. So it looks like that was the magic number. Like I said, I was trying to do the math in my head, but they kept changing so much. But apparently it's basically on party lines, minus those 7 people that flipped, one way or the other. Everyone else just did exactly what their party told them to. So that's pretty crazy. I mean, for being such a close vote. I mean, I guess that's what people were expecting if you just assumed the party lines, because there was more of them anyways. But I'll say it again. I really wish it had nothing to do with party lines. Like we're putting people over politics, right? They said it 200 million times today. And yet you voted exactly with your party, except for 5 brave people. And let me tell you, those 5 people that voted against it on the Democrat side, they're going to get punished by their colleagues. But we're putting people over politics. But you didn't vote for what I wanted you to, so I'm going to, you wanted to, fund the steamboat in your hometown or whatever. You need federal funding to fix the children's hospital, but you're not getting it now because you didn't vote for me on this. Literally the definition of politics. I guarantee that's going to happen to those 5 people. Next time they want something, no matter what it is, they're not going to get the support. They're going to be like, oh, you didn't stick with us. So, anyways, that's that. I don't know. I mean, unless they do the PLACA thing like right away, but it sounds like they were doing something about the central divide or whatever. Cape Gunworks was live for an hour. For the last hour, they just ended though. Okay, well, hopefully all the people from Cape Gunworks come over on my stream, because I'll be on for a little bit more. But right now, I'm just going to play with my doggy. My assault dog. Why do you need a dog that weighs more than 50 pounds? This is my assault dog. Yeah, he's big and scary. Oh, look how scary he is. Rawr. Big scary puppy. I'm gonna bite you. Look at me, I'm gonna bite you. Oh, he would never. He's a nice dog. When does it go to the Senate? I don't know. I don't know. Do they go on vacation the same time that the House goes on vacation? Because today's the last day before vacation. That's why they rushed it this week. If the Senate's on vacation also, then I guess when they come back in a month, if they're not, I mean, it could go as soon as Monday. It's my understanding. Like once it passes the one, it goes right over to the other one. Now it goes into committee in the other one. They could make it sit in committee for a while. They could kill it in committee. They could take it to a vote and kill it. They could amend it a whole bunch and then vote yes on it. Then it would go back to the House, because now you have like version A, which could pass today, and then version B, which would be amended a whole bunch. And then even if version B passes, they have to take A and B and put them together and then figure out like, okay, what parts like do we mix together? And then it can go back and forth. And if that, then they say, okay, yep, we agree with version B. That's we're going to vote on that. Yeah, it passes also. Then it goes up to Biden and then he signs it. So those are all the steps. That's, Schoolhouse Rock. Those are the steps to, I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill. I'm gonna take your guns. But anyway, so right now it's basically 50% through. And I'm not sure on timing. I will refer everyone to a place that I've gotten a lot of good information about this happening, and that would be FPC. Their Instagram has been on point about this topic. They've posted probably 13 times so far this morning, but all of them have been updates. That just shows you how much stuff was changing. Oh, we're going to vote on it. No, we're not. Yeah, we changed our mind. We are going to vote. Oh, no, we're not allowed to. Oh, you're going to change the rule. No, we're not. We are. No, we're not. No, we're not. Back and forth. These are the tricks they play. I mean, I think part of it was they did the trick on Wednesday to say we're not going to vote on it. So everyone goes, okay, good, we win. I can go take a 3-day vacation. I'm done. I'm going to leave work early today. And then, oh, just kidding, last minute, last night, oh, we are going to vote on it. Well, hell, if you already took your vacation, you're not paying attention anymore, then you wouldn't have known about it today. So, anyways, I will always support FPC. I think they do a lot of good work. They definitely, I mean, they're not as much lobbyists as they are lawsuit. Printers go burp. I mean, that's what they like to do, and I'm cool with that. I do support them. I am a member. I give them money. But yeah, I think that, you know, and some of their stuff, yeah, they do some memes and they make fun of people and they're a little edgelord, but I have a interesting sense of humor, so I like it. I can understand where some people don't. That's fine. I mean, I don't know. I guess I look at, with all this, through this whole process, take a look at all the organizations. Like, go look back at the past, I don't know, week, let's say. Who posted about what? I know NRA posted once when it was in committee, once it passed committee, it was like, oh, this is going to get voted on maybe. They never updated that it wasn't going to get voted on, and then they never updated that it actually was going to get voted on. Like, they missed the whole Wednesday, Thursday night thing. You know, go look at Gun Owners America, Second Amendment Foundation, any of the other ones. Like, just judge for yourself how much you want to use them for news. How informed have they been? Go look at your favorite YouTubers. How informed have they kept you? I've been watching people like G-Webs has been keeping me pretty well up to date. I think all you guys know him and like him. But you know, look at some of the other people. Have they updated a bunch? Some have. Some haven't, right? Some are just like, oh, be scared, blah, blah, blah. And then maybe maybe some of the people updated on Wednesday and said, oh, we win, they're not going to vote on it. Remember, those would be the dates I would think are important. Who posted about this being in committee on Monday? Who posted about it not getting voted on Wednesday? And who posted on it is going to be voted on Thursday? And now look today, who posted on it's going to happen, or they wait of it already happened, right? How many people posted this morning versus posted tonight? I posted this morning and said it's happening today, and then I jumped in on another live stream, and when he had to go, I said, well, I better make my own, because at least somebody is going to be documenting it. I know there's a few other people that were showing it. I'm not saying I'm the best ever, but I wanted to be there live, and I wanted to comment along. So, anyways, this would be a good week if you think people are supporting an organization or a YouTuber or an Instagram page or whatever. If you think they support the Second Amendment, look back at all the content they've put out, or all the emails they've sent, or all the whatever over this past week. The key moments would be Monday, when it was in the committee. I guess, what was it, Tuesday that it passed committee? Wednesday when they said they weren't going to vote on it. Thursday night when they said they were going to vote on it. This morning and tonight. So look for six key timelines. Who updated you on what? Like I said, I've seen one on NRA, and it was after it passed committee saying, oh no, Nancy Pelosi is evil. And I bet you there'll be one tonight that says, oh no, Nancy Pelosi did an evil thing. But I didn't see them post anything this morning, say it's happening and we can stop it. I'm not necessarily shitting on NRA, but I think we all know they move a little bit slower than some of the others. And maybe they'll do some fundraising off of it, because now they got to stop it in the Senate. So look for that kind of stuff. Are they just letting these people, the emails, the posts, the videos, whatever, are they just letting you know, hey, this thing happened, it's good, it's bad, or give you a call of action, or ask for more money? Those are the different types of things they could be doing. And not to say asking for money or whatever's inherently bad. I understand you need money to do stuff. And I know that is one, it's a criticism FPC gets of like, oh, they're always just asking for more stuff. Well, yeah, they are. But they're one of the least funded of like the big organizations, the three-letter, what they do a lot of work. So again, it's not an instant disqualification, but be skeptical of, if all they did was post once and say, oh no, the sky is falling, it passed, Well, what the hell, dude? You never even told us it was happening. Oh, and by the way, give us money. Well, why should we give you money? If you never even told us it was happening, you didn't help us stop it from happening. You just used it as an example that something bad happened. Again, not saying that like NRA or whoever's going to do that, but that tends to be the types of things they do. That being said, I'm still a member because I want to vote for the board and I want to vote for people that would get rid of LaPierre. Just for the record, I am still an NRA member, but I am also a life member of Second Amendment Foundation. I also am a member of FPC, and I have given money to GOA at times. Because I'm just a bill. Oh, you are in for the update of your life, my man. The wife doesn't let me have the remote. Okay. Well, this is what happened just a little bit ago. They voted for it. It passed. 1808 did pass the House. 217 to 213. 5 Democrats voted against it. 2 Republicans voted for it. So with that math, we would have, because we lost by 4, we would have had to flip 12 Democrats and kept all the Republicans. Or for the 2 that flipped, we would have had to then flip 14. So basically, that's what happened. 1808 has passed. It's going over to the other side now, to the Senate. I don't know when it goes into committee, when they talk about it, when they vote on it. I will try and keep stuff updated. I don't have any timing on that. But basically, it's halfway, or at least it's a good 1/3, between 1/3 and halfway to its way of being a law. Additionally, later today, I don't know when, but at some point, they will also be voting on getting rid of the firearm manufacturers or sellers, whatever, legal protection for people who misuse their products from civil liability, also known as PLACA. I don't know what it stands for. Probably product liability, something, commerce amendment, something. I don't know what it stands for, to be honest. But basically, it means you can't sue a company for making a thing or selling a thing because somebody else, not the company, did something bad with it. Just like you don't sue Ford for drunk drivers. And everyone likes to say, oh my goodness, they're the only industry that has protection. They can do whatever they want. No, they can't. If you make a gun that blows up with regular standard factory loads and with pressures that they say it's capable of doing, and it blows up and it injures you because of a manufacturing defect, you can sue them because their product blew up and hurt your hand because they didn't make it right. They are still liable for malfunctions. But if a bad guy takes their product and does something bad with it, they are not liable. Also, I'm pretty sure if like a gun store knowingly sells it to a felon and that felon does something bad, that gun store is still going to get in trouble. Like if, again, they knowingly sell it to a bad guy or they don't do a 4473 or something, like that's illegal. It's already against the rules. You're not allowed to do that. Protection in the Lawful Commerce of Arms Act. Thank you, G-Webs. That makes much more sense than whatever I was rambling about. Placa. So anyways, that vote to get rid of that is also coming up later today. If it goes similar to this, I guess maybe it's going over to the Senate. I don't know. I'm not I don't know politics enough to know all the different people. Seems like I said, on this one, we flipped 5 Democrats, but they flipped 2 Republicans. If you look at going down party lines, it shouldn't be a party issue. That should have been, I guess, how many people is that total? 2 something to 2. So like at least 400. It should have at least been 400 no's. And then, okay, whatever what's the leftover? 24 or something? 217, Well, it was 217, 213, but one didn't vote, right? So that'd be 431. So anyways, it should have at least been 400 no's to 31 yeses. I'll give you, there's a couple of crazies. But it wasn't, because everyone plays along their party line. To which, if you have a Democrat person, you should. Oh. Okay. Anyways, I'll finish up real quick. Then I actually have to stop. But if you have a Democrat person, like, let them know that they should be pro-gun also. Like, for my representative particularly, she is a more central, like, leans more to the center, a Democrat, but her seat used to be Republican for a long time. So it just flipped. Like, she's the first Democrat that won that district or whatever. And she's being primaried this fall by, like, a super duper left. So her whole thing is going to be like, I'm not super crazy, I'm in the middle-ish. Okay, 435, whatever. I don't know. I was doing math in my head off or whatever. But thanks, Patriot. So, anyways, on one of the correspondence, and yes, I said one of, because I notified her multiple times this week. I left messages and sent emails. But on one of my correspondence with her, I basically mentioned that fact of like, hey, just so you know, I understand you're being primaried in the district that I vote in, and basically a lot of new gun owners are from the center and from the left, and they probably will not appreciate you voting against their newly found rights. Like, they probably didn't even know gun rights existed until the last couple years or whatever, and now they appreciate them. So if you want to keep your seat, either one, from being primaried by the super crazy, or two, by being, taken out by the Republican and regaining the seat they used to have, then you should basically vote for freedom. Like, vote for protecting the rights. Because your own people, your own Democrat people that are in the center and only a little bit left, like, those people, they're now on my side. And I'm not on either. Like, I'm more libertarian than anything, but I don't even agree with the Libertarian Party on everything either, right? I'm my own human. I'm my own person. But I tend to be mostly, everyone just leave everyone else alone. Like, that's a pretty good thing. So they're all on my side. All the people that voted for her, and she won, and she flipped a seat, and she fought off a primary vote, all those people are going to be mad at her if she votes against it, which is now going to be step 2, is I'm going to go see, was she one of the 5 that flipped, or she voted along party lines? Because if she voted along party lines, I'm going to go have a word with her and say, you just screwed up because you're about to get primaried and kicked out of here. Because that's ridiculous. Because I certainly will not vote for her if she voted for this. So that's the next step, everyone. I'm glad everyone called your peoples. But now do a follow-up. See how your peoples voted. Most people is probably, right? We're basically only talking about 7 people that went against party lines. Or maybe one of yours is one of those 7, no matter which side, right? And you are going to want to know that. If it's someone you thought you could help, you thought you could support, and they flipped, well, then you need to let them know, hey, I can't believe I thought you were going to be on my side and you flipped. Or if it's someone who flipped that you thought was going to vote, for this, and they voted against it, go tell them thank you. Go tell them, like, literally, I'll tell that lady, hey, good job, I appreciate you. If she's one of those 5 that flipped, I don't know. But that's always the follow-up, is figuring out what they act like. It's one thing to let them know, right? Hey, I want you to vote for this. But if you don't follow up on that, then maybe they won't take you very seriously. But if you follow up and say, hey, remember how I wrote you last week and I said, hey, don't vote for this? Guess what? I saw you voted for this. That makes me unhappy. And if they did flip, go, by the way, I saw you vote against this. Thank you very much. You can be friends with me now. And maybe if you're just that cool, then people will be friends with you. They'll want to be friends with you. So anyways, with that, I am going to jump off. Thank you everyone for joining in. Everyone who's listened to this in replay, leave me a comment. I appreciate you sticking all along for the whole time. But yeah, I do these Smeggy Caves randomly whenever I feel like. Always be on the lookout. Please subscribe if you stumbled across this, because you never know when it'll pop up, and it's much more fun watching it live. And I almost always drop links to let you come in and talk with me, so that can always be fun too. And everyone have a good day. Screw Congress. 1808 passed, and that's sad, and I'm very mad, and I'm gonna go call my people on the other side, so hopefully it doesn't win on that half.